Welcome back to Talk of the Town on Super Talk 1270.
You're tuned to Talk of the Town, Super Talk 1270. I'm your host, Steve Bakken, on Super Talk 1270 on a kind of a free-for-all Monday, seeing as how the phones have been down today. So when we come back, hopefully I was hoping we'd have them by the last break to visit with Mand and Sporting Goods over at Brandon, but we'll figure that out and we'll get them back on later this week. Joining me in the studio right now, Caro Two Eagle, Strong, Secure, Single Men's Housing Co-op. Time for a little update. We've had you on the program a couple times, and just for our listeners, give a little background. Okay. This is a nonprofit, but it's for a specific group of individuals who need a hand up.
Yeah, these are guys who have been discriminated against by landlords. Most of them have been behind the iron door, probably several times. Recidivism nationwide is 84%, and in North Dakota it's 67%. But man, that's better. That's not good. That's more than 50%.
And the problem is, once you've been locked up, once you've been incarcerated, now people don't want to rent to you. People don't want to give you the same opportunities as somebody else, even if you've straightened out your life.
Yeah, they do. They discriminate. It's illegal. So what? I've heard judges say they don't care what the law says, which I think is unbelievable, but I was there.
Well, if that's the case, then you're going to wind up with people going back to be incarcerated, because if people don't have an avenue out, a pathway out of support, then you're more likely for recidivism.
Yeah, you are. And part of it is depression. And these guys get the feeling that nobody cares and they're never going to make it and they're fighting it alone. This way we will have 16 men. We have some who have never been in jail and have never had drug and alcohol or any of those other problems. But they're native and they're custodial fathers. They get it too. And anyway, we've had quite a number of guys who are interested. Our background check is not like anybody else's because we expect these people to have problems. And the first thing on the background check form that we wrote says, we expect you have a problem or you wouldn't be applying here. So tell us what it is.
Yeah, you'd have a different option.
Yeah. And so we can discuss it with you.
You know, one of the things when I was mayor and we were working on a homeless shelter and different agencies, one of the things we have in Bismarck is we've got a lot of great nonprofits that work in great little spaces, but that was one that fell through the cracks. It was the custodial father. It was the family housing where, okay, we've got some homeless space for you, but only for mom and the kids. Dad couldn't be there.
Yep.
Or if you were a single father with kids, well, we can take your kids, we can't take you.
Yeah, we've got 4 like that right now who want to get in there. And there's this woman that came to me and she's just furious. She said they told us that they could take me and the kids, but my husband would have to just figure it out for himself, and they didn't care if he slept under a tree, which is where a lot of these men sleep.
Yeah. Or benches downtown Bismarck.
Yep. And she said, could he be there? And I said, well, if he passes the background check. And so we talked about it and we think he would. To be in a cooperative, you own a piece of it, and therefore you are one part of the landlord. In this case, 1/16. And so if a problem arises, the membership will vote on what happens to you. It's not our way or the highway; it's the members' way, and it's you participate. And
that's one of the things I like. It's a unique model, and
it is in all the world.
You have to think outside the box when you're trying to come up with solutions.
What box?
But people
they don't
doing the same thing over and over and over again without getting the results that you're trying to achieve. That's not intelligent.
No, it isn't.
You have to think in things in a different perspective.
You do. And when I was asked by homeless men to come up with another way, I went to see what was out there. And there was rent or rent. And that was it.
Yeah.
And if you're a veteran, there is a program for purchase, but it's, not without its glitches, but there was nothing else. And so I started looking for answers, and I came up with the housing cooperative, and we are unique in all the world. We are the first to use this approach that we can find. We've done repeated searches. Nobody else does this anywhere.
Right here in
Right here.
Bismarck.
You bet.
Bismarck, Mandan area. That's pretty cool. We're talking with Caro Two Eagle. When we come back, we'll find out a little bit more where they're at now as far as the Strong, Secure Single Men's Housing Cooperative, nonprofit for single men, custodial fathers that may need a hand up. And we'll find out more with Caro Two Eagle. When we come back, this is Super Talk 1270's Talk of the Town.
Talk of the Town. Talk of the Town, brought to you by Mandan Sporting Goods, Dvorak Motors, we're your family for a lifetime. Big Boy, just get in line, it moves fast. Hit Inc., independence, dignity, respect. Hit Inc.
You're tuned to Talk of the Town on Super Talk 1270 on a Monday Gun Day, and of course, phones down. Otherwise, we'd be visiting with Brandon over at Mandan Sporting Goods. We'll chat with him later this week and catch up with that, find out what's going on. Because the cool thing about Mandan Sporting Goods is it changes every week. Every time you walk in there, every time I walk in there, there's something new, something that wasn't on the shelf before, and that's why you stop in regularly. I'd recommend stopping in twice a week, but that's just me. We're talking with Caro Two Eagle, Strong, Secure Single Men's Housing Cooperative. Nonprofit for single men, custodial fathers, people that need a hand up and a place to live. We have a wonderful group of nonprofits within the community in Bismarck, Mandan, but this is one area that has fallen through the cracks. If there's a family that's homeless or needs a little help, the father can't stay there a lot in pretty much every case. So this is where your nonprofit comes in and can pick up some slack.
Yes. The single man part refers to we're not taking in any women, and we're not, and these men can take in minor children up to 3. We have 3 custodial father spaces, and 2 of them right now we have guys that'd move in tomorrow if we could let them. The grant is essentially finished, and now we're hanging on tenterhooks waiting to hear.
Now, one of the cool things with your model, and this is unique to anywhere else, this is, you came up with this here. The cool thing with your model is it's a co-op, and there's ownership. When there's ownership, there's a sense of pride. You're working as a group for the betterment of the property.
Yeah.
That goes a long way to help somebody.
It does, and the betterment of each other, because you all understand each other's situation. You might not understand why a guy does what he does, or even why you do what you do, but there are 16 of you, and you can focus on this, and you can get to the bottom of the problem, and you can fix it. You know, we're especially oriented to men who have the courage, and it takes some, to stand on their own 2 feet and say, I'm really sick of the life I've got. I want it fixed. I don't know how else I'm going to do it. I've tried other things, and they have not worked.
So with the cooperative model that you're working on, what do you typically see for a buy-in cost, and how long do you expect somebody to be there?
When you buy a membership, it's for the rest of your life if you want it, okay? And the buy-in cost is 2 months of maintenance share, because it costs money to keep a place going. And right now our projection is a single man without children will pay $275 a month, and the custodial fathers will pay $550. And so double that. So to buy in would cost $550, and a custodial father would be $1,100. So if you want to stay there until you die, I guess that's okay. We're fine with that, as long as you stick to the contract that everybody signs. We are drug and alcohol free, period. There's no discussion, and that includes all prescriptions of any kind. And
no medical marijuana cards.
Nope. Nothing. No psychoactive drugs of any kind. No uppers, downers, sidewaysers, tranquilizers, nothing. 0 means just that. It doesn't mean once in a while.
You're there to help improve somebody's life.
Yeah, and we're here to help them get a grip on their lives and that they can keep and that they're confident they can keep. If they want to move on, that's fine. And so if a guy decides he wants to move out and he wants to sell his membership, then the other members have to vote on who he wants to sell it to.
So we got about a minute and a half left. As far as somebody wanting more information, or where are you at in the process right now?
Okay.
When are the doors open?
We don't know when the doors will open. The grant is in, and we're waiting to hear, and we expect to get it. But we can't do anything until we have the money, and it's about $750,000, which as grants go is pretty small. But it's a lean grant, and yet it covers everything we could possibly think of. And we've gone over this repeatedly. That's why it's taken more than 2 years. And I've done about 95% of the work on it. And then I go back to the board, and sometimes I twist arm pretty hard, but we have to sit down and go through all this fun stuff and make sure we didn't miss anything. And once that's done, then we will start taking applications, and there's a $15 fee. If you pass the check, then the $15 goes on your purchase. If you fail, we keep it. Everybody's got expenses. Nothing is free.
Well, and I always look at things that work best is when everybody has skin in the game.
That too, yeah.
Caro 2 Eagle, looking forward to another update as we get it a little closer, find out where the grant's at. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Strong, secure, single men's housing cooperative. Caro 2 Eagle is a nonprofit filling a void that we have in the community here for men who may be homeless or a little down in their luck.
Our next meeting is August 13th at the Bismarck Public Library down in the front basement in room C.
Perfect.
KLXX AM, Mandan, Bismarck, a Town Square media station, broadcasting from the View Community Credit Union Studio.